Normally, I have my end of the year ranking video right after the year is ended. Timing wise, it didn't quite work out this time for 2025, but I still wanted to do it, and with the Oscars and Razzies happening this weekend, I figured I'd finally get around to it. Most of these 2025 films I did reviews for, with a few exceptions of some Oscar bait movies and a few Razzie baits as well. This order will naturally go from worst to best, so sit back, relax, and I hope you enjoy.
I'm ready.
It's not even fair to rank 2025's War of the Worlds, which came out straight to Prime. It's your iconic alien story, just with seasoned thespian Ice Cube. It's a piss poor film, but it's a movie so bad I gotta think some of it was intentional, and that's what makes it a fun watch if you choose to check it out. Hurry Up Tomorrow was a vanity project for the weekend and some kind of psychological type thriller. At least that's what it seemed like it was going for. It's a pretty bad movie. I know you can point to a lot of the weekend's performance for that, which no was bad. He had to pretend like he was horrified that Jenna Ortega had him tied up in a bed and trying to seduce him. My acting would have sucked too in that scenario. Just for Jenna Ortega, it's one of my all-time favorite bad movies.
What the hell is this?
Megan 2.0 was a radical departure from the horror-themed first film, and instead was a spy action flick. This movie just didn't have the brains to pull off its plot, nor the viral and meme-worthiness of the first film. For me, it was a pretty lousy experience that KO'd any potential this franchise had. It was all the worse because I chose to watch this film instead of F1 that weekend.
Don't touch Katie.
Megan.
I had hope for Search for SquarePants. I still go back to how much I really liked the first SpongeBob movie. I thought this new film got out to a nice start, and just feeling like a regular SpongeBob episode, just with great 3D visual style. The movie is an absolute train wreck once the plot in the underworld really gets going. Awkward, not funny, and shows there's no substitute for a good story, even with as much nautical nonsense you throw in there. Neza 2 was a Chinese animated film that allegedly made $2 billion to become the highest grossing animated film of all time. I wanted to see what the big deal was, so I first watched the first film and then I checked out the English dub of this in theaters. The movie's fine. I think it's way too long, and a lot of the out there mythology and story lore kind of went over my head. I think the main way to get something out of this film is to be culturally invested. The thing that really got me mad was the weekend this English dub came out, I chose to watch it instead of the chance to watch K-pop Demon Hunters for the first time. One of my all-time worst decisions. What the f*** was I thinking?
We will change my destiny!
With how much I hated the first Five Nights at Freddy's, that movie was f***ing abominable. I'll give the sequel credit for actually having better use of this concept, with some genuinely creepy scenes and just better filmmaking all around. Not to say it's entirely a good movie, but it was watchable enough to where I started to see the appeal of the video game franchise.
Oh no.
Do you guys hear that?
Rated PG-13.
Most of what I thought about a Minecraft movie was overshadowed by the insane theater experience I was unexpectedly a part of, and that's with no popcorn throwing or live chickens present. I've not played any of these games at all, but based on the reactions the film was getting, the movie was seemingly doing a good job on delivering what the fans wanted to see. I could get a sense of fun from it through some of the set pieces and Jack Black doing Jack Black stuff. I don't think it's a great movie by any means, but I'll always have admiration for something that naturally becomes a phenom. Disney's Snow White was the rage bait movie of the year, although a lot about the movie made it an easy target in that regard. I think the movie was decent enough when it's sticking to the OG animated movie. I thought some of the musical sequences were surprisingly very good. It's when the movie's original ideas come into play where the film falls into what's KO'd a lot of other Disney live-action reimaginings. Notably that sequence with the bandits, that was pretty bad. But I'll be the first to say, based on the 2 times I've seen this movie, once in the theaters and once at home, I didn't hate this movie. And I'm happy that most of the ugly online discourse that's been associated with the film is somewhat come and gone.
Did I frighten you?
The best thing I can say about Captain America Brave New World is that it's watchable. Its major down point was the leader. Not pulled off very well in any regard, even if I still appreciate Marvel tying up those loose ends from the Incredible Hulk. Thankfully, it's decent enough in a lot of aspects. I really loved Harrison Ford in this. I like the action and characters enough to where after the couple times that I've seen it, I can say it's fine. Could have been a lot worse, I suppose. Tron Ares did the minimum it needed to, which was visually and music-wise being pretty damn impressive. There are a few moments where that soundtrack just reaches godlike levels. The story and characters unfortunately get worse as the film goes along, continuing the franchise's trend to crack that overall digital formula to create a great movie, instead of something that just has to settle for cult status. I had a decent time, although given the box office, it'll probably be the last Tron film I get the chance to see in theaters. I didn't watch Death of a Unicorn in theaters. I checked it out when it was on HBO Max. I really liked the cast and I could appreciate the story setup. I think the problem with a horror film centered around a unicorn is you gotta spend money on the special effects for said creatures, and it just doesn't work out the best on the big screen, even with some okay gore sequences. It's still an earnest attempt at a movie, and sometimes that's all you can hope for. The Monkey succeeded in its fun kills and unique comedic tone for a horror film. In hindsight, some of the personalities became a bit exhausting to deal with, as no character was taking anything in the film seriously. The Day the Earth Blew Up, a Looney Tunes movie, was the first and so far only fully animated Looney Tunes theatrical film. It's nicely in the spirit of the classic 40s cartoons, with a modern touch from the HBO Max series, leading to a loony and fun Porky and Daffy and a world adventure.
We have to act fast, and there's only one person that can do the job.
Daffy?
Oh no, not the dog!
Elio was solid fun. I actually saw it in theaters. Hardly anything close to the best Pixar film, but I enjoyed enough about the characters and the alien world adventure to have a good time. Although I'm not surprised it flopped, as it doesn't have that level of quality to really draw people in, which is a bad sign for the future of original non-sequels from Pixar.
Help me, Father! Quiet, you!
What is that unholy sound? Stop!
Frankenstein was another Oscar bait type movie that I didn't watch until relatively recently. From director Guillermo del Toro, it's the classic scientist and monster story, although in a more toned down way compared to his more out there creature feature projects. I liked the movie the most when it was kind of doing its best Shape of Water impersonation, with its twisted love story angle. However, it was when the movie began to go around in circles dialogue-wise during the second half that I didn't find it to be all that entertaining. But there were its qualities about it here and there that did live up to its Oscar bait billing. The 2025 How to Train Your Dragon gets the award for being the most shot-for-shot remake I've ever seen. Besides the appearance of some of the characters and a few scenes here and there, everything plays out exactly the same. It meant I had a really weird reaction coming out of this film. In terms of as a movie, I had the same good feeling as the original because it was literally the same film. But then you realize, what kind of filmmaking is that when you just do a carbon copy of the first film? I guess it ensures you don't mess anything up. But I do think there is a nice balance between being too original and just being a carbon copy. Most of the fun of the live-action reimagining of Lilo and Stitch was what you would expect in terms of the chaotic, cute fun of Stitch and the relationship developments. As a big fan of the original movie and franchise in general, I thought the movie got right what was essential to get right. It's when the movie gets too bold and straying away from key aspects of the original, specifically in the climax, where I had the feeling of what the am I watching? But in the big picture, the overall movie was good enough to be a live-action reimagining that I think most can get behind. Ballerina from the world of John Wick had the stellar action and fights from the rest of the series, with of course the difference being a female actually doing the fights. If you can get your head out your ass and get past that, you can definitely have some fun here. It was a solid little spin-off. Despite my initial apprehension, I thought Jurassic World Rebirth was a fun dino adventure. As expected, it's nothing deep or super consequential in the context of the larger franchise. But I credit director Gareth Edwards for giving this film a great look, decent characters, and nice dino thrills to make for just a fun time at the movies. Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning got off to a surprisingly slow start. The first hour wasn't doing much for me, but that classic Mission Impossible fun really kicked in with that submarine scene, and the climax was excellent, with that amazing airplane stunt sequence. Cruise was just plain crazy here. The story did have the scale and OMG factor to be the finale for the series. Hopefully it stays that way, as I think they've gone through all the thrills they can.
I need you to trust me. One last time.
I had fun with Freakier Friday, in similar and different ways to its 20 years prior predecessor, but at its core was once again fun performances from Lindsay Lohan and Jamie Lee, and of course that funny/awkward body switch humor, this time with 4 times the amount of switching. Superman was the start of a new era for DC, under the direction of James Gunn, which means you get a fun movie that plays to James Gunn's signature sensibilities and the kind of stuff he's known for, while still respecting the Superman character. It might have been a little overstuffed, but I thought it was a nice start for DC Studios, unless you're a Snyder bot, of course.
Hey, buddy, eyes up here.
Esping here kind of seems like a huge misunderstanding.
Zootopia 2 was fun. It was more great banter from the Bunny and Fox duo, and I loved the world building and visuals done for the City of Animals. Off my 2 viewings of the film, I don't think every aspect of the story worked. I think some of the mystery elements and developments were pretty ridiculous. By the end, it did cement Judy and Nick as an iconic Disney duo, with a nice setup for a third film if he stayed for the end credits. I'm not the biggest fan of the Avatar films, especially The Way of Water. Fire and Ash's biggest improvement was character-wise, this installment was just so much better. There was just more interesting dynamics, relationships, and developments at play here beyond the cliches of the first two films that really had me shocked with how much I started to care about the characters. Combined again with amazing visuals in 3D, and I was really enjoying myself for the first couple hours. After the amazing military base sequence, the final hour of this movie baffled me, and how much it just started to repeat a lot with what was seen in the first two films, leading to an exhausting experience. That doesn't mean I still didn't have fun in the big picture.
Your goddess has no dominion here.
Sinners got next level acclaim as one of the best films of the year. I like the period piece-esque elements, the performances, and the vibes here. The vampire horror angle was cool, although I gotta admit, the more that the vampire leader talked, the more the movie started to annoy me, as a lot of that intended deep religious-esque dialogue didn't quite do it for me, even if I genuinely loved a lot about the movie. I mean, it's Ryan Coogler, the guy is always going to direct the film that's worth your time, and when he's working with Michael B. Jordan, it's definitely a must-watch.
Alpha Withrop, I know you're out here.
I very much enjoyed the first Wicked, and I also thought Wicked for Good was also enjoyable. Part of the fun for me was my lack of knowledge of the play, so some of the story developments in the context of the Oz characters in a prequel setup were a surprise to me. Music-wise, it was very much inferior to the first film, but Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo were again amazing, capping off a nice two-part adaptation of the iconic Broadway play.
But only one that mattered.
Final Destination Bloodlines showed why the Final Destination series is highly enjoyable. It really nailed that feeling of anticipation and the fun factor behind watching these death scenarios take place, making you realize that death is a total It was a nice relaunch of the series and got me to finally check out the other films.
Good luck.
Thunderbolts was a quality adventure of scrappy anti-heroes coming together to realize a higher purpose. The movie managed to be very entertaining and avoided the tropes that have some notable post-Endgame movies. Loved the characters and the filmmaking qualities present here. Noted in how weird but effective the climax gets. That was some next level trippiness. I think it's a little bit of an exaggeration to say it's the movie that saved the MCU, as it's mostly been a roller coaster ride over the past few years. But it was a really good movie, and that's all you can hope for.
Look at you. So adorable.
The Long Walk lived up to its brutal premise. Watching this walk or die story setup was amazing, but there was enough ups and downs, character moments, and brutality to make for quite the experience.
You boys are the answer. The long walk is the answer.
Predator Badlands was the first theatrical Predator film under Disney, and definitely lived up to being a Disney-fied version of the Predator, with a lot of filmmaking qualities found in Disney animated films. While that may seem like a disastrous creative choice, the movie just had the overall quality elements to be just a really good movie. And when you combine it with the Hulu Predator films, it shows that Disney actually knows what they're doing with this franchise.
Well, good luck with your journey.
The Fantastic Four First Steps was at last Marvel's first family done full justice on the big screen. The retro 60s future vibes were awesome, the sci-fi elements were very nice, leading to a great adventure and one of the best post-Endgame Marvel movies.
Okay, is this guy good or what?
It took a while to finally watch one battle after another. I missed out on seeing it in theaters, just wasn't in the mood for a 2-hour, 30-plus minute film at the time. I didn't know what the film was about until watching it. Its immigration-type subject matter was very timely, but I like the rawness, grit, and performances, especially Leo, per usual. Is it one of the best Oscar bait movies I've ever seen? Well, it was really good, I'll leave it at that, and lived up to the nice things I'd heard about it. I watched Marty Supreme in theaters towards the beginning of 2026, one of the clear Oscar bait movies out there. It was one long, beautiful, f***ed up character odyssey about a table tennis player with a lot of ups and downs, and Timothée Chalamet's best performance, which is really saying something. Weapons' unique story structure and pacing set up an awesome horror thriller adventure. The way the information was revealed and the focus on specific characters for a period of time really blew me away the more the film went on, and it certainly was able to stick its landing with its awesome ending.
Rewatching. Rewatching. Rewatching.
It's time.
K-pop Demon Hunters was an unbelievable combination of story, style, and soundtrack. Its visual style was killer, and the music is all-time stuff when it comes to an original movie soundtrack. Obviously, the music and style points were off the charts, but it was a story of the main character, Rumi, that really just blew me away here. It was truly special how this movie turned out, and the phenom it became was more than justified. Add everything together, and it was my favorite movie of 2025. And there you have it with the ranking of all the movies I saw in 2025. Definitely the biggest movie I didn't have the chance to see was F1 the movie. Just for one reason or another, it didn't quite work out. But overall, it was a standard kind of year with an equal amount of tentpoles that really hit for me, and those that I thought were kind of mediocre. Although the phenom that K-pop Demon Hunters became was definitely the most memorable thing about the year for me. That, and of course, Chicken Jockey. But 2026 looks to be a really exciting year when it comes to the notable mega event movies that you gotta buy your tickets as soon as they're available. So that'll do it for this ranking of all the 2025 films that I saw. If you made it to the end of this video, thank you for watching.